Greetings and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about why I downgraded my graphics card from a 4090 to a 4080. The first thing why actually all this started happening is because my fan on my 4090, the PNY version, stopped spinning, or actually did never spin, I don't know. I just figured out when I vertically mounted the card from just a test, but then I saw that the front fan, or the third fan in row, is not spinning at all. And I was kind of curious because my temps were actually quite nice. So I was a bit confused why that happened or when that actually happened. But yeah, so I have to RMA that card and send it to France to get it repaired. Because otherwise, yeah, a broken fan will lose a whole value for the card, and I need that fixed as soon as possible. But yeah. While doing so, I figured out, hey, I need a replacement for that time to be able to do content creation and work and all that stuff still to be continued. And yeah, I decided to not go get my hands on a 4090 again, because that was super expensive right now. And I think I just will take back the PNY, or yeah, maybe just sell it and keep the card that I have now. Because now I have a beautiful card which is from Inno3D, and it's actually a water-cooled card. And the good thing here, it's dead silent and absolutely, yeah, cool, and you can't actually stress it beyond 55 or 60 degrees Celsius. And I have a quiet fan setup now on my PC. You can't actually hear my PC working. When I'm rendering, when I'm doing upscaling, or when I'm doing anything like that, gaming, you can't hear the PC except for some very small amount of coil whine. But yeah, the reason why I want to talk about this is because you can save lots of money. So yeah, I decided that this is actually quite enough for me. I don't need a 4090 because, as you can see, I can play and game. I have my filters running here with reshade, and still I can get my monitors maxed out, which is the 144 Hz 4K screen. So this is 144 Hz. Or actually a bit downscaled because of Nvidia Reflex, but that's another topic. If you downscale FPS here, it will get the image out a bit smoother if you're not exactly maxing out the refresh rate of your screen. But yeah, you can see I'm still running perfectly fine. It's absolutely smooth. Yeah, the camera panning is always a bit problematic in Final Fantasy. That's why I'm using a gamepad, because that's way smoother in all the showcase videos. But yeah, so far, the big thing for me is that I can easily showcase footage and content on 60 FPS, which is quite recently, or still, the max refresh rate that YouTube is offering, so we can't have a benefit of going over that value, and we're way above that, even when I'm turning on very high filters, which I try to avoid in my showcase videos. So I could actually go further down the road, like a 4070 Ti or even a 4070 for $600. So yeah, playing the game really depends on what resolution. I can always repeat myself here. It depends on the resolution and refresh rate that you're having and that your screen is offering. So that highly depends on what graphics card you need. And 4090 for everything that's not 4K is an absolute overkill graphics card for Final Fantasy alone. If you're playing AAA games like Cyberpunk or other stuff, Alan Wake, that's something where a high-end GPU can be handy. But yeah, on my end, actually the performance from the CPU is more important now, because having more cores goes back to having shorter render times, export times, and all that stuff. And the graphics card is still quite nice, and having the 4000 generation Nvidia has some nice features with dual encoders and all that stuff. But yeah, for playing the game, as you can see here, it's absolutely fine and buttery smooth. The only thing that I need to change now, when I still want to max out my frames at 4K resolution, is that I do exactly the settings that I always recommend for getting the best performance to quality relation, and that's turning this off, real-time reflections. As you can see here on the ground, there's some changes. You can still actually play with them. I'm still on a very decent, if I'm not recording now, I'm still on a decent frame rate here. And yeah, the transparent lighting quality, I still don't see it mostly. I'm totally honest with you, I actually might not recognize that, so I'm turning this off. And the biggest one, like always, the screen ambient occlusion here. If you turn this on quality, This will drastically increase the quality and look of these textures here, like the stone walls, and having these in a more 3D realistic image. This is definitely something you can recognize if you look at these textures here, for example. And if I turn this down, you definitely see a difference. But something I'm absolutely fine with not having and living without that, having the better frame rate. And yeah, still retaining the maximum performance, or the performance that I need to have this very fluid motion and very fluid gameplay experience. So yeah, is it worth doing that? I can only show you the prices here in Germany. We have a 4090 and some of the base models starting at 1,800 around that point. And the 4080 you can get for 1,100 already. And some of the better models for 1,200, 1,250, and that's actually the 4080 Super. But I think in Final Fantasy the difference between 4080 and 4080 Super was about 5 to 7% at max, so it actually doesn't matter too much. The 4090, however, on the other hand, gives you an uplift to about 30%. The big reason why it would make sense, or might make sense, for you to swap now as well is because end of the year we will see the new generation of graphics card. Now all these cards have decent value if you sell them on eBay or any platform that you have available, but at the end of the year, when the new cards have been released already, the prices will go down as crazy. So basically half the price. I can expect a 4090 to cost around 900 bucks when the 5090 is around. I can definitely bet for that. So definitely make sure that you hop onto the new generation at the right time and sell the old generation at the right time and not lose much money. Last year, 2022, I was able to shift over to AMD because they increased the performance on their drivers for DirectX 11 titles like Final Fantasy and other titles. So yeah, I was actually gaining performance by selling my 3090 to an AMD RX 6900 XT and gained money by that, gained performance by that, and was absolutely pleasantly surprised by the performance. And yeah, then I swapped to the 4090, which I'm not regretting, because that was a card that helped me with content creation a lot and made my processes very fast, even faster than the AMD card. But yeah, let's be real, this is still way over the top what I need. I need 60 Hz, 4K with filters, and that's all. That's all I can do, and I can still achieve that with a 4080 and might even do that with a 4070 Ti. As you can see here, we're still way above. If we go to maximum here, we're still way above 60 Hz. I can still record absolutely fine, just that the gameplay is not that smooth anymore. Yeah, it depends on your resolution mostly. If I would drop down to another resolution, sorry about the window, it's just a test right now. This is 1440p. As you can see, we're absolutely way above that. We can max out the game, we can use filters, and that's absolutely smooth. If you're having a monitor with maybe 165 Hz, so yeah. 4090 actually not so much needed for Final Fantasy, and it might be a good idea to swap it out now when it actually has some value and price. Later in the year, I can tell you, and I can speculate that the 5080 might be on par with a 4090, or it might even be better. So definitely take that into account, because 4080 is way above the performance of the 3090. If we see the same performance increase from Nvidia, so take that into account. If you're someone that wants the best quality and maximum frame rate and everything maxed out, no matter what, then of course the 4090 is still one of the best cards. It's the best card on the market and one of the best choices to take. But I think the 4080 is something most of the times half the price on eBay. So yeah, thank you for watching. I think I will stay with the 4080 until the end of the year when 5080 is coming or something like that. I think I might actually not go for the 5090 this time. It depends on the price. If they sell it for reasonable 1,500 or something reasonable like that, and the 5080 might just be 200 or 300 bucks less, then of course I will take the high-end card. But yeah, I think I would not spend 2K on such a graphics card anymore, because that's absolutely overkill. To know more about that, if Final Fantasy is going for the AI upscaling techniques like DLSS or FSR, We will talk about that, of course, again in the Dawn Trail upcoming expansion when they introduce the new graphics update. So yeah, stick around for that. I will keep you updated about all the performance stuff, about the hardware stuff. As you know, I try to be a tech YouTuber on Final Fantasy XIV at least. I think the other tech space is just too vast, and there are too many good content creators that fill this space already. So yeah, it's basically just tech and Final Fantasy XIV on my channel, and of course Final Fantasy XIV in general. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep loving Final Fantasy.